Alright folks, welcome back. We have our Ecolicious report to continue with. And this part of the report wants to focus on producing a graph of the data. Producing a graph of the data. Here it says attach this to the paper, but in our project report, we're going to attach a link. And so you would just, right here, you would choose this, you would go to insert, and you would be inserting a link to a picture that you took of your graph. So you'd take a photo of the graph, load it to Google Drive, and I will attach links to this document to make sure you help remember, okay? So don't worry. But you're gonna do the graph, create the graph on paper, just take a photo of it, and then you'll load it and create a link here. So a little bit of work, but I'll make sure I help you, okay? And I'll have a video here that you can watch to figure out how to do it. But until then, let's figure out how to produce a graph from the data. So here is a graph I've already created. I didn't identify the independent variable, but you'd basically want to create a title. So let's pretend that I did, let's see here, brown water, and that's sewage water, or treated sewage water, I should say. That's treated sewage water. Let's do H2O. Impact on plant growth. Okay, so I've come up with a title, and for our EcoCups we got similar results except for a couple. Now this data was just made up, I just created it. It shouldn't make sense, so don't worry about making sense of this. Here's what we should focus on. I've created, so if I'm going to talk about EcoCup 1 and I'm going to put the plant heights for certain days, notice it covers the days we did, 8. We have our plant height in centimeters, and the plants could be up to 35 centimeters tall. I don't think that's happening, but I just wanted to give you plenty of space to work with, and it increases by 5 each time. And then in time, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days, 6 days, 7, and 8. So for us, we don't know where the plants were growing on day 7 and day 5 and day 3, day 2, because we didn't measure every single day. So our data, when you're drawing it, will go from day 1 to day 3 to day 6 and then day 8. So we'll have a total of 4 different data points for each cup, right? Notice that EcoCup 1 is represented with a triangle right here. Notice EcoCup 2 is represented by blue dots, and EcoCup 3 we used red X's. When you have data points on a graph and you're graphing more than one EcoCup, you want the dots for each to be a little different. So each data point should be a different shape. So all EcoCup 1 should be triangles, all EcoCup 2 should be circles, and if you have a third EcoCup, go with X's, just so it's easy to keep track of them. So once you place the data points down, then you can connect EcoCup 1 with the same color line. Now some of the growth is the exact same according to my data. Again, I just made it up. And it's hard to see, but you can see that the light blue line connects the light blue triangle. You can see that for EcoCup 3, in my experiment that I made up, it has basically 3 EcoCups, but I used a red line to connect the red X's that represent EcoCup 3, and I used a dark blue line to connect the EcoCup 2 data points. So just remember again, you want to create a title, and you can follow the same kind of pattern, but make sure that you're listing your independent variable. And the impact it has on plant growth, right? So whatever independent variable you had, make sure you give data for each EcoCup, and you connect that with a line that's of a different color and shape, right, for each data point. Good luck. And that concludes task 3. All right, it says load, for task 4, which is the next one, it says load and describe photos of the experiment. So that basically means you want to make sure you have photos of your experiment along the way, or the methods you use to apply the independent variable, or the results of your independent variable. Any photos you took that are useful and show better understanding of the results, we need to take those photos and load them or create a link to them on Ecolicious datasheet. So we'll go and figure out where to go for the Ecolicious datasheet. And if we learn how to do that, we'll also be able to better understand how to attach the graph as a link to this paper. Remember, we're going to attach as a link to a photo you take of your graph. So knowing how to do this on Ecolicious datasheet will also help you figure out how to attach a picture of this on this worksheet that you're having here. So it's the same strategies, except one you'll be putting a link on a datasheet, and one you'll be putting a link on this Google document report paper. Okay? So let's check it out. First, you got to go to Google Classroom, and you're going to scroll down, and the quickest way to find videos that help are to go to the Ecolicious data. And so I'll just click on that. And you can see right here and here it says tutorial video 1 and 2. Clicking on these tutorial videos will walk you through the process of taking a picture, loading it into Google Drive, and then using a photo in Google Drive, getting a link for it that you can then take, insert the link, right? That will take care of you getting a photo loaded and linked into your datasheet, your Ecolicious datasheet, right? This example, of course, is period 5, but whatever period you happen to be in. The other step is, once you watch these videos and figure out how to create a link using a photo that you've put in Google Drive, the next step is to know how to get it into the Google Doc. And the Google Doc is pretty much the same way. You just highlight some text, you right-click it, and it will allow you to insert a link. This right here is Word's version, but it'll say insert link, and you choose it, and it will turn the text right here into a link to your photo that you've had in Google Drive. All right, good luck. And that concludes task 3 and 4. To use, and just to review really quickly, you want to be able to place photos. The earlier ones should go closer to day 1. Photos that you took later in the experiment, maybe the final day, you would want to place those later, closer to the day of that you took the measurement. Also, you want to be able to add, so not only did this team identify that the first photo they had was their first picture of their experiment, they have a second one here. So they've identified a order to it, first and second. So this is a really good example from Team 1. And then Team 1 has also described what the value of the photo was, why they took it, or how it helps understand something. As long as you do that, you've completed task 4, which was load and describe photos of the experiment on the Ecolicious datasheet. And use that same strategy to attach a link here for that graph you made that we discussed earlier in the video. All right, good luck.